German pro basketball player Moses Pölking wants to see some changes in Berlin. He wants to change the name of this street and train station from Uncle Tom's Cabin to something else. But why?
I've been coming into contact with that street and the subway station for like almost 4.5 years, 5 years now. I had a bad feeling in my stomach, you know. I thought about all the stuff that I encountered in my life, how it made me feel, you know, it just woke up a lot of bad emotions.
Uncle Tom's Cabin is a novel about a slave written by American author Harriet Beecher Stowe in 1852. The book was considered to be anti-slavery, but it has always been controversial.
The book, you know, is full of racial stereotypes and all kinds of racial scenarios due to the way of thinking back in the day.
In Stowe's view, slaves could be freed, but they could not assume a place in American society on equal footing with whites.
She was still racist. She was just against slavery, you know, and people tend to forget it.
Uncle Tom is a good and courageous slave who loved his master, even after he was sold to a slave trader. Stage depictions portrayed Uncle Tom as a subservient fool who bows down to the white man, a slave who will sell out any black man if it will curry favor with whites. Calling someone in Uncle Tom is disparaging and offensive.
From the character Uncle Tom, the protagonist, originates the insult Uncle Tom.
That's why Pölking started a petition to change the name. It has over 13,000 signatures already.
I already started a conversation in politics about it within like certain parties that are responsible for the district. If I feel like something is not racist and other people think it is racist, I feel like we have to talk.
Should Uncle Tom's Cabin be changed?
It's not going to solve that issue by just renaming one name, but the subconscious effect that you have in everyday life, you know, it will change that.
So great to have Moses Pölking here in the studio. Welcome, Moses. The name Berlin's Moor Street, which translates as Moor Street, will have its name changed. Why is it that you're so hopeful that now Uncle Tom's Cabin will have its name changed?
The changing of the street name Moor Street is a clear sign that the city wants to change their colonial history or their depiction of colonial history in Berlin. And that's why I'm hopeful that they will follow suit with my petition with the renaming of Onkel Tom Straße, and the BVG will also follow suit of the renaming of the subway station Onkel Tom's Hütte, because they need to clearly distance themselves from any racially motivated, unconnotated street names and places in the city.
And are you getting feedback that this could happen?
Yes, I've been meeting with politicians, with parties. I will have some more meetings coming up next week, and I'm very hopeful to talk to them about it and give them my petition, and hopefully I can get them on my side.
And just a basic question, why do you find the name Uncle Tom's Cabin offensive?
So there's a book called Uncle Tom's Cabin, and the character Uncle Tom is a slave, a very subservient slave, who at the end dies as a martyr, but his whole life he's been very subservient and not active against his oppressor. He's been always a very master-loving slave, and black people in general, we want to distance ourselves from that depiction and that narrative. You know, we want to be active against in our fight against inequality.
Afro-German athletes in the past haven't been maybe as vocal as their American counterparts on social injustice. Do you feel that you're now part of a movement that's going to be more assertive in this regard?
I definitely hope so, because as athletes, we have like a huge platform. You know, we appeal to the younger generation, to our generation a lot, and we have to use their voice, you know, to channel change in our society and make our society better.
What about your own experiences as an athlete? Have you experienced racism?
Yes, I have. It started, for example, when I was 16 years old. We used to play in a very remote town against adults, and us black players on the team, we were met with like monkey chants, and we were called the N-word, and many other racial slurs. As a 16-year-old guy or boy, that's pretty traumatizing, I would say.
Do you feel that this moment upon us, that something's going to change?
I do. I feel like the society is now more conscious and also a little bit more willing to listen to the experiences about racism and the problems we have in our country in Germany. Obviously, there's a lot more to do, but I feel like we're off to a good start right now.
How far do we have to go?
All the way until racism in our society is erased, until we learn more about racism in school so we can address it with other people and they understand where we're coming from. So we have a long ways to go, but it's not going to be a fight that's won overnight, but like we have a lot of years to go.
Mrs. Pölking, we really appreciate your insights. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.